land to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Greetings, fellow workers, and welcome to this May Day, New York City 2026 rank and file anti-war speak out. My name is Michael Letwin, and I am a convener of the Labor for Palestine National Network and former president of UAW 2325, the New York City-based public defender union. We are here to say on May Day, U.S. labor must act now. Can't hear you. U.S. labor must act now.
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 No school, no work, no shopping.
No school, no work, no shopping.
In Minneapolis, no school, no work, no shopping.
No school, no work, no shopping.
Money for human need.
Money for human need.
No ICE, no war, no genocide.
No ICE, no war, no genocide.
No weapons for Israel.
No weapons for Israel.
And we are here today on this May Day to unequivocally condemn the rapidly expanding U.S.-Israel war against Iran, Lebanon, Palestine, and throughout the region. This is a naked war of aggression that reflects decades of bipartisan U.S. imperialism in the global South to extract natural resources and terrorize the working class, both abroad and at home. This is a war of terror. No one is liberated by imperialist war. This war is an extension of the Nakba. And imperialist bombs dropped abroad also fall at home. As we know, the war on Iran is a massive attack on the entire working class. While racism, unemployment, homelessness, cost of living, food insecurity, school and social service cutbacks, union busting, deportations, and repression soar at home. War is being waged at the cost of more than $1 billion a day. So we need workers' action now. We don't need just talk, we need action. Protest rallies like this are essential, but they are not enough to stop war, rising fascism, and crisis dragging the entire world to disaster. So we are here today to answer the May Day call from the Palestinian General Federation of Trade Unions in Gaza, who say to us on May Day that they extend our greetings to the world working class and ask, call upon you in American labor to transition from the stage of expression to the stage of action, and from symbolic solidarity to impactful solidarity. Our colleagues and comrades, they continue. History is not written in statements, but in organized action. The labor movement that formed its rights through struggle is capable today of serving as a decisive force in the face of injustice, provided the will is present. Our people in Palestine, they continue, and our workers in particular, await from you actions that rise to the magnitude of the tragedy. Long live international worker solidarity. So, in that spirit, we here today to demand the immediate release of the Gaza Samud Freedom Flotilla, who were abducted yesterday in international waters by the Zionist entity. In that spirit, we are here today to say that the working class must go beyond words and use our unique power on the streets, in our unions, and above all in our workplaces to shut it down for justice. Shut it down for justice, because if we don't get it,
shut it down.
If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Thank you. Our first speaker will be Nefruz Baum, who is from United All Workers for Democracy, UAWD, and recording secretary of UAW 235. Nefruz.
Everyone, I'm Nefruz, and I'm proud to be here speaking on behalf of UAWD, the class struggle movement of the UAW. Our members are in New York and Michigan, in California and Alabama, in auto and legal services, agricultural implements, and higher ed. And I want to share our collective voice by reading from the UAWD platform that workers across this country have drafted, debated, and ratified. We must bring an internationalist class struggle to our shop floors that sees workers across the world as part of one working class, spanning borders and cultural divides. Only a unified working class is capable of defeating the owning class, which seeks to pit workers against one another. We need international working class solidarity against all imperialist wars, such as the illegal U.S. bombing of Iran. These wars bring death and misery to working, poor, and oppressed people. These wars are launched in order to maintain and expand domination over key resources that allow the capitalist class to increase their profits at the brutal expense of working people in both the exploiter and exploited nations. We need to advocate for mass strike actions and acts of civil disobedience to end the genocidal war in Gaza and attacks on immigrants. We are for peace and solidarity among the international working class and for a society free from war and capitalist exploitation. This is the message from UAWD members, from UAW members across the country. This is our member platform. Thank you for allowing me to bring it to you here today, and happy May Day. Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Thank you, siblings, union siblings, worker siblings. Next up, we have Frankie from New York City Educators for Palestine. Is Frankie here?
Not yet.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, we'll come back to Frankie. Next up is Evan Roth, co-chair PSC-CUNY Grad Center. Is Evan here? Woo! Okay, Evan, you got it.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
CUNY, CUNY, you can't hide!
CUNY, CUNY, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide!
CUNY, CUNY, you can't hide!
CUNY, CUNY, you can't hide!
We can see right through your lies!
We can see right through your lies!
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy May Day. Thank you for having me. My name is Evan Rothman. I am the co-chair of the Graduate Center chapter of the Professional Staff Congress, CUNY's Union for Faculty, Grad Students, Adjunct Staff, and many others. And I want to talk to you about the situation at CUNY. Who here has heard of the Fired Four? All right. Then you may know, or you may not, that we have just very recently gotten 3 of the Fired Four hired back.
That's right!
CUNY claimed for almost a year that they couldn't do anything about it. This was a normal personnel action. Bullshit. And we're not done fighting yet. We have the Fired Fourth. All across this country, we have seen how promises of diversity, equity, and inclusion at our universities have curdled into repression, censorship, and expulsion. And we are not going to have it anymore. And that is because when we pull on this thread of repression in our universities, we unravel the whole damn thing. And they don't want to stand for that. Their hegemony in this country has come undone, and it's through anti-repression campaigns like this one that we unravel the whole thing. Thank you. Free Palestine, and happy May Day.
Thank you, Evan.
Palestine will free us all.
Palestine will free us all.
Every fascist state will fall.
Every fascist state will fall. Next up, please welcome Rose, New York City teacher. Rose.
Up, up with liberation. Down, down with occupation.
Down with occupation.
Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
Down, down with occupation!
Down, down with occupation!
My name is Rose, and I am a teacher from Palestine. Woo! Within our lifetime, teachers in Gaza will freely educate their students in a school, and their parents will pick them up at the end of the day. We cannot tolerate seeing children on our screens who could be our students crawl through rubble with amputated limbs or be forced to care for their orphan siblings. In Australia, during our lockdowns, we filed a welfare report. If a student didn't attend a Zoom class for a week, we were worried sick for our students in lockdown. We see even now the detrimental effects of learning loss impacting our students. After all we have seen firsthand, how could we possibly stay silent about Palestine? We feel the same for all children everywhere, regardless if they're on our attendance list or not. As educators, we demand better for children in Palestine. This sentiment is so commonly held by our students, parents, and co-workers. But despite this, educators who speak out against the genocide in Gaza are doxxed, harassed, and threatened by Zionists.
Shame.
This is nothing compared to what Palestinians endure on a daily basis, and we intend to continue fighting for a free Palestine and the right for Palestinian children to receive a high-quality education. We urge the UFT delegate to pass the upcoming resolution to stop the sale of bombs and bulldozers to Israel. We have all, at some point, worried for the well-being of our students. We urge you to consider Palestinian children in the same light and vote for this resolution the way you would for a child in your classroom. It is time for UFT to pass the resolution to stop the bankrolling the sale of $151 million in 1,000-pound bombs and $295 million in bulldozers, the machines used to demolish homes in the West Bank and Gaza. Our vote and voice can liberate Palestine and honor the right for children to attend school. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Money for books and education!
Money for books and education!
Not for war and occupation!
Not for war and occupation!
Thank you. Next up we have, please welcome Mitchell from Teamsters Mobilize.
Happy May Day, everybody! Woo! Hey, my name is Mitchell. I'm a Teamster based out of Local 1205 in Brooklyn. I'm out here repping an org called Teamsters Mobilize, which is working to bring the militant spirit of May Day and the militant spirit of the Haymarket Martyrs into the labor movement today. Right now, as Teamsters, we have a president, Sean O'Brien, who's making a mockery of that legacy by telling us that we can improve our conditions as workers by collaborating with the ruling class instead of fighting against them, by collaborating with Secretary of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne Mullen, by collaborating with the financial corporate monopolies like BlackRock, who speculate on the houses of us workers. But we in Teamsters Mobilize won't take these betrayals lying down. We are going to fight against our class collaborationist union leadership just as fiercely as we fight against the bosses. Right now in Teamsters Mobilize, we have a Teamsters Against ICE campaign going on, calling on IBT leadership to oppose increasing state terror, as well as a campaign to allow our TM comrade Colleen here to attend labor notes after the so-called progressives have banned her for trying to speak out against the rule of Sean O'Brien over the Teamsters. Yeah, we reject Sean O'Brien's slogan of Teamsters versus everybody, and instead we say working class versus ruling class. Which side are you on? Solidarity, everybody. Free Palestine. Happy May Day. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine!
Okay, now, next we have Nadia from Dancers for Palestine. Nadia.
Can I get a dance for liberation?
Teamsters for liberation.
Down, down with occupation.
Down, down with occupation.
Dance, dance for liberation.
Dance, dance for liberation.
Down, down with occupation.
Down, down with occupation.
I'm here representing Dancers for Palestine today because we refuse to let our art form be used as decorations on the war machine. The state of Israel has an explicit policy through a campaign called Brand Israel to use art and culture and performance to revamp their image from one of occupation and apartheid and military violence to one of fun, cool art and tourism destinations. But New York artists are not having it. We're not having it. We're done with that. We refuse to let art washing happen in our city, in our institutions, in our workplaces. We heed the call from the Palestinian campaign for the academic and cultural boycott of Israel, and we reject art washing in all forms. A lot of dancers live in constant fear of retaliation and unemployment, which can keep us isolated and silent. But when we organize as workers, we can help protect each other as we speak out for the rights of workers all across the world, because our struggles are united. The workers united will never be defeated.
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 Thank you. Thank you.
Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down, down with occupation.
Down, down with occupation. Thank you. Next up, we have Bill Doris from Pal-Awda, New York.
Happy May Day!
Happy May Day.
Today is May Day, International Workers' Day. The day we say that our struggle is one. The struggle of workers and oppressed people in every country, in every corner of the world. We cannot fight the attacks of the Trump private equity regime in Washington without fighting the monopoly capitalist class that stands behind them. And we cannot fight that class without fighting the source of their power and wealth. And the main source of their power and wealth is the plunder of the entire world, and nowhere more so than in that region they call the Middle East. Today, the front line of the global class struggle is in Palestine, and in Lebanon, and in Iran. And we stand for the struggle of the people of that region to throw the U.S. out. Because the war against them is also an excuse to plunder our communities here, to pay for their endless war machine, and the Zionist state of Israel, established criminally on the land of Palestine, is part of that endless war machine. They're trying to erase Palestine from the map. They're trying to take back Iran. They're trying to revive their power they once had. So it's necessary for us to stand in solidarity. The labor movement must stand in solidarity against imperialist war. Now, I want to invite you all on May 16th to come to Bay Ridge, the heart of the Palestinian community, the anniversary of a Nakba, because the genocide happening now is just a continuation of a Nakba. Join us at 2 p.m. on May 16th in Bay Ridge on Fifth Avenue. There are flyers here. Thank you. Workers of the world unite!
Workers of the world unite!
Palestine is our fight!
Palestine is our fight!
Thank you, Bill. Next up, please welcome Raina from New York City Workers for Palestine.
Hi everyone, happy May Day. My name is Raina. I'm a parks worker. I'm a member of Local 375, president of Chapter 7, and a co-founder of City Workers for Palestine. In October last year, over 2 million Italian workers went on a general strike in support of the people of Palestine. And their state opposed the genocide. They halted weapons shipments, they halted school, they halted transport. They showed the world what international solidarity looks like. And in February in Minneapolis, workers standing in solidarity with immigrants revived the tradition of the general strike here in the United States. right? A tradition that we know has deep roots here, but has been beaten out of our memories through state repression. Now it's our turn to keep the fire of May Day alive, to grow this general strike against the billionaire agenda, to say that we won't take more billions of our wealth being spent on wars at home and abroad, on ICE terror against our immigrant neighbors, on war against the people of Palestine, against the people of Iran, Venezuela, Syria, Cuba. While we are facing the greatest affordability crisis I've faced in my entire lifetime, when all of our city's agencies are facing cuts because for some reason we cannot raise taxes on millionaires by just 1%.
Thank you so much, Rita. And appreciate everybody's patience with us moving quickly because we have to end this by 4 to join with the UAW and other contingents that are being marching from here. So thank you again for your understanding of that. Next up is David Letwin from the Coalition for Action in Higher Education and the Rutgers Adjunct Union. Greetings, comrades. I'm going to go through this very quickly. My name is David Letwin. I'm a member of the Rutgers Adjunct Faculty Union, whose members, I'm proud to say, in December 2024, passed a divest from Israeli genocide resolution. I'm here today speaking on behalf of Labor for Palestine National Network and Jews for Palestinian Right of Return. On May Day 2026, it is reassuring to stand with comrades who say abolish ICE, no to imperialist war, and free Palestine from the river to the sea. To stand with comrades who are not willing to throw justice under the bus to win broader appeal. To stand with comrades who recognize that if we are not prepared to speak the truth, no matter the cost, that we are surely going to lose everything. That's right. Sociopathic elites, here and abroad, conservative and liberal, are dragging the world to the abyss. It is up to us, workers, students, educators, community and union members, to stop them, to reject the status quo, to reimagine and demand a just, sustainable society for all humanity. And let me just end by saying, right, you're always supposed to, unions we know, right, union organizers know, always end with an ask. So the ask here is that the Kahi Palestine Caucus has just put out a pledge, the BDS compliant pledge, also in alignment with the May Day call from the General Federation of Palestinian Trade Unions. And you can sign this pledge, a conscientious objective pledge to end complicity in genocide and apartheid that has been published. I'm sorry, I went over that. It's the pledge educated to not engage in academic and cultural cooperation, collaboration, or joint projects with Israeli academic, cultural, state, and private entities and institutions that are complicit in ongoing Zionist genocide, occupation, and other violations of Palestinian rights. And to sign on, just go to educatorspledge.us, plural of educator, educatorspledge.us. No ICE, no ICE, no war, free Palestine. Thank you, Dave. Next up is John King from UAW Labor for Palestine and UAW 7902 Executive Board Member.
Greetings, comrades, on this beautiful May Day, International Workers' Day 2026. My name is John King. I'm a member of UAW, Local 7902 NYU Adjuncts, as well as UAW Labor for Palestine, as well as Unite All Workers for Democracy, UAWD. I'd like to begin by sharing the report that my local 7902 recently passed a recommended amendment to the UAW Constitution calling on UAW to divest from Israel bonds, to break ties with the fake apartheid union, the Histadrut, and for UAW, UAW to ensure protection for all our workers who engage in any and all labor actions to stop weapons going to the genocidal apartheid state. This amendment won by a near unanimous vote. It's won by locals around the country, and also 2325 here in New York also endorsed that amendment. It's still a long way to go. We've got a lot of things to do, but because the UAW leadership, this anti-genocide call
has been coming from rank and file UAW members for more than 50 years. As far back as 1974, when the UAW Arab Caucus called for these same actions to be taken by the international leadership, our rank and file's membership showed their commitment to standing in solidarity with this call and for uplifting the Palestinian General Federation of Trade Unions in their demand for all unions and workers in this International Workers' Day to stop all military weapons and support for the Zionist apartheid state. Now is not the time for words. We must take action, including a renewed, energized commitment to education and organization of all union members to build towards labor's unique position to shut it down through withholding their labor to organize towards a general strike.
Thank you, John. And next up we have Matt, an Amazon driver, member of Teamsters Local 804, and an organizer with Break the Chain, New York City DSA's chapter-wide campaign, organizing for a citywide arms embargo on Israel. Is Matt here?
Thank you. So I'd like to start by saying that the Palestinian General Federation of Trade Unions has issued a call for global working solidarity, global working class solidarity, and they demand that workers worldwide first refuse to build or transport weapons destined for the machinery of occupation. Second, that they halt all military trade that fuels the war machine. And third, boycott campaigns profiting from apartheid. This call gives the workers in New York City a choice between their paycheck and their principles. And especially the workers at JFK and the workers in ports and Brooklyn Navy Yard have the opportunity to say, every time a worker at JFK, a cargo handler, says, I will not load weapons that will go to kill children in Palestine and Iran and Yemen, they break a link in that global supply chain of violence. Every time a machinist at Brooklyn Navy Yard says, I will not build towards destruction, they break a link in the chain of that violence. Our city was built by the labor of its people, such as ourselves. Let us choose to reject using that labor towards militarism that is ultimately going to kill innocent people and often our families, and let us instead put it to use towards building a better world for the entire working class.
Thank you, Matt. That's beautiful. Next up, we have Lula from Left Voice, member and former Amazon worker. Lula.
Hey everybody, happy May Day! My name is Lula. I'm a member of Left Voice, a former Amazon worker and a prospective CUNY student, and I'm really proud to be marching with the Graduate Center PSC today. So this May Day, the contradictions of capitalism have reached a fever pitch of imperialist war, repression, and growing inequality. International Workers' Day isn't only about workplace demands. It's about uniting the working class and fighting for a new world, a socialist world, one free of exploitation and oppression. I'm happy to share that this morning, some of the activists of the Global Samud Flotilla were released, including two of our comrades, Leandro Lanfredi and Mariona Tasker. We denounce their capture, and we won't stop until Palestine is free, and we demand the freedom of all of the activists. Anti-imperialism is especially key this May Day. Thousands of civilians and children have been killed in the Middle East with our tax dollars. It is up to us to demand the defeat of U.S.-Israeli imperialism in Iran and Lebanon. A defeat of U.S. imperialism is a victory for the working class of the world. In Minneapolis this winter, we saw the power of class struggle. In the face of ICE attacks, workers, students, and neighbors stood together, and their massive days of action and work stoppages forced a retreat of the Trump administration. But in the spirit of the civil rights movement, we need to go further to demand full rights for all immigrants. Here in New York City also, the CUNY Fired For campaign has embodied the fight against the repression of the Palestine movement. 3 of the 4 CUNY Fired For have gotten their jobs back, but we still fight for the Fired For. The defeat of U.S. imperialism, full rights for immigrants, and the Fired For. We need to fight for these demands with working class methods. That means recognizing our strike power and not letting our union leaderships confine us to bread and butter demands. It also means organizing independently from the Democrats and Republicans with no faith in Congress or the courts. What I learned from working at Amazon is that workers make everything run. When we're organized, nothing can stop us. From the United States to Venezuela to Cuba to Iran to Palestine, we are the workers of the world, and we won't look away, we won't back down, because we have a future to win. Thank you and happy May Day.
Thank you, Lula. Next up, please, is Jason Corley from Cuba Sí. Cuba Sí. Jason, are you here? Okay, we'll come back to Jason. And next up then is Sarah Flounders from Workers' World Party.
I'm Sarah Flounders from Workers' World Party. The oldest demand, the oldest slogan of the union movement is workers of the world unite. It's one struggle, one fight. It's one struggle, one fight. And this is our message today to the unions, that it's a struggle against U.S. wars, U.S. imperialism, U.S. looting of the world, which is in the interest of the billionaires and never, never of the working class here. That our interests are one with the people of the whole world who are resisting, the people of Palestine who've given everything and still resist, and of Lebanon and of Iran under attack, who have tied the Straits of Hormuz and pushed U.S. imperialism back. We stand with workers in Venezuela and with Cuba. Everywhere there are workers mobilizing, it's important we join with them, support them in solidarity, and make this really a workers' issue right here. Because when workers anywhere in the world win their battles, we are stronger here. When imperialism defeats workers anywhere, they are stronger against us. So that's basic class consciousness. Let's revive it again this May Day and every day.
Thank you, Sarah. Next up, we have Chris Mills Rodrigo from CWA for Palestine. Chris, are you here?
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Mills Rodrigo, and I'm a member of the Washington-Baltimore News Guild. Unfortunately, our parent union, the Communication Workers of America, has failed the communication workers of Palestine. In this intensified stage of the genocide, the Zionist entity has explicitly targeted our union siblings in Gaza and the West Bank, while here in the Imperial Core, our union has struggled to clear the basic hurdle of releasing a statement. Israel has killed more journalists during the genocide than both world wars, the Vietnam War, the war in Yugoslavia, and the United States war in Afghanistan combined. And they have targeted these now over 250 brave media workers because they expose the Zionist project's brutality to the world. The same playbook is being executed in Lebanon amid Israel's insatiable thirst for expansion. Just last week, the IDF killed Lebanese journalist Amal Khalil. She could have been saved if not for the IDF targeting the very ambulance that was dispatched to save her. Every one of these brave martyrs, risking their lives to tell the truth, was a whole world. I'm speaking most to journalists here because that's my profession, but the Palestinian equivalents of so many industries represented by CWA are under intentional assault. Only a handful of hospitals remain operational, telecommunications infrastructure has been destroyed, and schools are barely able to stay open. That's why my comrades and I formed CWA for Palestine, an anti-imperialist rank-and-file organization dedicated to transforming our union into a more militant force. But when we try to raise these issues, like we did at the National Convention last fall, we were blocked by our sclerotic leadership from even bringing discussions to the floor. This experience has underscored the need for democratic transformation in all of our unions, for decision-making being returned to the working class. I'm heartened that we're all here today, but we must keep fighting and we must unite. Power to the working class and free Palestine.
Thank you, Chris. Next up, we have Karina Mullen from CUNY for Palestine. Karina, are you with us? Karina's about, I saw her before, but she may be involved, so we'll come back to her. Next, we have up Edith from Hospital Workers Building Union Power.
Hi, thank you very much. My name's Edith. I'm with Hospital Workers Building Union Power. We need to mobilize the working class in this country to fight for Palestine. What will it take to do this? There's no doubt that the workers are horrified by the genocide and that they hate that the US rulers are plunging us into new wars. But for decades, the American workers have been told that what is good for the imperialist rulers is good for them too. This is poison. It has been peddled by the union leaders in this country and the Democratic Party politicians, the same people who've let industry go to hell in this country and working conditions. In order to mobilize the class, we have to mobilize it in its own interests. Take any fight. One job should be enough. No more 24. Union busting is disgusting. We need to use these struggles to show the class that their interests are the opposite of the interests of the US imperialist rulers. The key obstacle to mobilizing the class in its own interest is the union leaders who want to make deals with the bosses. That's right. The rulers have pushed the liberal lie that US imperialism can be a force for good in the world. But in the same vein, calling for money for human need and not weapons for Israel, as if the US rulers can be pressured into being a force for good, is a piece of the liberalism that we need to break with. May Day is the strike for the 8-hour day. It was not a call for no shopping.
That's right.
Okay, we need to mobilize the working class to actually fight. So I'd like to repeat the chant one of the previous speakers said. Workers of the world unite! Palestine is our fight!
Workers of the world unite!
Palestine is our fight!
Thank you, Edith. So, union and worker siblings, thank you so much for being here today. We're going to be connecting with incoming contingents from UAW 9A and also from PSC-CUNY and others. I'm sorry if I forgot anybody. We're going to march together if you'd like to in this anti-imperialist rank-and-file working class contingent. Please, if you haven't yet, reach out to us at laborforpalestine.net to connect. We appreciate everybody here to free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be
Yeah.
free!
Thank you.